All right, this is a vibe for sure. I couldn't film it because I was trying to focus on not totally screwing something up too bad. But yeah, Killcare Raceway. See you out there. Essentially, I'd be in trouble if the handbrake didn't work. So yeah, stoked to finally use this rig. Never planned on putting it in here backwards, but that's just how it works out. I got the AC working up here. Keep this shut when you're driving. Should keep it pretty cool up in the cabin. Sweet, let's go drifting. All right, testing the AC unit out right now. There's no way they're gonna fall into the car, not that it matters. Okay, I think we're in business. All right, getting ready to load up the car into the rig. I just upgraded my 6-foot race ramps to these 10-footers. It did fine even with the arrow on with the 6-footers, but I figured if my car ends up any lower, which it might, these things will be nice. I got a pretty good deal on them. The guy had them on Marketplace. But yeah, I haven't figured out a good way to winch the car on yet, because as you can see here, the winch is about where the middle of the car goes, so I'd only be able to winch it up to about here, which doesn't really help me too much. So unless I were to relocate the winch up here, which will take some good amount of work, find a frame rail, and I'd have to build something, plus all the wiring underneath this truck that goes to that. I guess it's not a lot of wiring, but it'd definitely be a chore. So unless I figure out a way to hook up and pull from like the back side of the car, then that would pull me up far enough. But I haven't really gotten there yet. So right now, probably just gonna drive the car on. Luckily it's got a really good stock handbrake still, so it holds it up even on this pretty steep incline. But if it weren't, then I'd be in trouble, because it's steep enough to where I don't think engine compression would hold it up. Probably kind of hard to see how steep it is. I mean, it's not crazy steep, but definitely steeper than your average hill. Yeah, stoked to finally use this rig. Been working on it little by little. Okay, so here's my theory here. I'll hook to the front of the car. It looks like it'll just clear the fan and yank straight along the floor without like grinding up on the bottom of the car. Maybe touch the subframe a little bit there. I'm gonna snug it up and see. Snug it up very carefully and see, but otherwise, if that works, then this will pull the car on all the way, which will be nice. The main reason I want to pull it on is because I don't want to have to depend on the handbrake to hold the car up there when I throw, you know, if I drive it in myself. Essentially I'd be in trouble if the handbrake didn't work. So unless I had someone there to like chalk the wheels, I'd be kind of screwed. So being able to winch it on by myself is the ultimate plan here. I just gotta come up with a good way without having to re-engineer this whole setup in here. So let's see where this gets me when I snug this winch up. Okay, I think we're in business. I got it fully snugged up. It is barely touching the fan, and that distance should not change. And it's pretty much a straight shot. As you can see, it clears the whole underside. touching the fan. You can see it's pretty much just clear. So I already put the handbrake down just to put full tension on it, and I pulled it back up while I was under there so I don't get ran over in case something failed. But yeah, I'm gonna pull it out of gear and put the handbrake down and guide it on up. That worked way too good. I couldn't film it because I was trying to focus on not totally screwing something up too bad. But yeah, pulled it on, no problem. Perfect fit. Never planned on putting it in here backwards, but that's just how it works out with the setup, because I don't really have a place to grab it back here without it just... Yeah, I could build something maybe if I wanted to load it on forward, but as you can see, the winch still has a bit to go before it's maxed out, and we're in here just right. Probably gonna end up removing this section of the counter so it's easier for me to sneak through here, but yeah, little by little progress dialing this thing in. I removed this big shock cabinet that was right here. I mean, it was only 6 inches deep, but it made it that much of a pain to get around the car. And then I'll try to figure out a better way. These big race ramps fit perfectly between those diagonal supports, but getting them back up there now that the car's in here is not going to be ideal. So I got to come up with a plan there. I guess I could just stash them up here when it's getting transported, and then when the car's out at the track, I can put it back up there out of the way. I don't know, little by little, figuring things out. But I'm stoked. It looks sick in there. Fits perfectly. All right, we're all strapped down. The ramps are gonna just go here. It's at a tilt, so these things are just gonna end up resting against this door. There's no way they're gonna fall into the car, not that it matters. The other two sit there. It's a pain to get them over the car and back up into that slot up there, so I'll probably have to make something. Probably make something to hold two over here, and yeah, I guess all of them over here would be ideal. But yeah, we're pretty much locked and loaded. And then whatever else the wife's planning on bringing, cooler, stuff like that. But sweet, let's go drifting. All right, this is a vibe for sure. I love it. So stoked on this setup. We off tomorrow morning. Drift Indy Street. No, just Drift Indy. Drift Indy Drift Day, Drift Night. Not Street League this weekend. Killcare Raceway. See you out there. Alright, testing the AC unit out right now. Blowing a little cold. Could be colder. I think the coil up on the roof needs cleaned out, but it's definitely getting cooler in here, so that's nice. It was pretty scorching in here, so it'll take a minute to cool it down. I got the AC working up here, so that's sick. So if you keep this shut and you're driving, should keep it pretty cool up in the cabin. And then when we're at the track, we can plug in or run the Jenny, and then get this thing running so we don't have to run the truck. But stoked.